In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a foam roller. Foam rolling is fantastic because it's like your own personal massage. If you don't have the time, you don't have the money to get a massage every day, get yourself a foam roller, 20, 30 bucks, and you're going to get tremendous results. You can also use a lacrosse ball for some other trigger points, and we can get into that in a few minutes. But first, let's talk about foam rolling. Why should you foam roll? Foam rolling is great because it's your own personal massage, and your body is a bunch of tissues. It's a layer from your skin all the way down to your bone. There's all these layers of tissues, muscles, fascia, ligaments, tendons, all of these tissues we need to sometimes relieve some tension, relieve some pressure, get those tissues to slide a little bit better so that when you do use your body, you can use it properly. So foam rolling, we want to start slow. You don't want to use too tough of a roller at first, but if you know you've got some tension in some areas, use something that you can get some good pressure in there. We got to release it. It's going to take some pain, but we don't want too much. So ease back and use your best judgment. What we're going to start with is just some of the general areas that you should be focusing on. And again, you might need a softer roller for certain spots or a more firm roller, but whatever you choose, make sure that you're getting deep pressure, you're breathing, and you're letting the roller do its job. Okay? So first thing, just take a seat on your roller, and you're just gonna kind of lean to one side and dig in and around your butt. So from where you sit down to all the way up into the hip, there's some areas in there. For me, I don't feel too much until I bend my knee. You want to sit up with good proud posture, use your arm and your leg to support your body. Everyone's a little bit different, so you play around with the angles, play around with the position of your body, but we're trying to hit this piriformis, maybe a spot better for the ball, but initially just kind of search for some tenderness as we go through. Once you find a spot, just sit on it, hold, breathe, and relax. Use your face as a guide. If you start doing all this, relax and breathe. Let the roller do its job. So from there, let's just work into the hamstrings. So you can work into the hamstrings. A lot of times, this isn't a big area for pain for a lot of people. You're not going to feel too much, but it's always good to check it out. I'm using big strokes up and down at first. Once I find some tension, then you just use little strokes or even hold. If you need more pressure, put one leg on top of the other and dig into that. You can roll to your side. This is a very tender area for almost everyone, especially runners. You get into the side, use your arm like a plank to support yourself and your other hand and your foot, and you're going to slide from that side of the leg, femur bone, all the way down to the knee. And wherever you find that stickiness, that tenderness, just hang out there, breathe. You can go back and forth just a little bit, or just hold. If it's too tender, go around the area and work your way up to it. We can work into the calves, down on the lower leg. Same sort of thing with the hamstrings. You might need more pressure. You can work all the way outside, you can work inside, you can flip over and get into the shin, right? The shin part, shin splints. This affects your feet, all that. You can use two hands for support, dig in and around there. We keep moving back up toward your hips with the quads. So you're in here, you're just looking for tension, holding it, breathing. Each spot, you don't have to spend all day on it, but you might want to spend a minute or two on those really tender areas. So if you find some that's really loud, it's hard to breathe, that's a signal to your body that you've got to relieve that tension. You've got to get those tissues to slide. So you got the lower body, let's work on the upper body. get in between the shoulder blades. You can pike your hips up. If you want more pressure, you can pike up a little bit higher. You can lean to one side, focus on that shoulder blade, hold it, breathe, maybe just a little up and back. Other side. You can lean over to one side, reach your arm up and get into your lat and get into that armpit area, but you're gonna turn your body this time. So you turn and you can feel that pressure. You can come forward all the way, reach up, and then expose the chest and get right in between and reach. So those are a few things that you can do with a foam roller. If you need more pressure, there's other kinds. So you've got ones with like a grid so that you can get into some deep spots, and you can also use a ball. The ball is more effective on certain areas, but it's hard, a lacrosse ball. You want something solid. You can use a tennis ball at first, but I would recommend getting a lacrosse ball. So like this area, whoo, a lot more tension, but it's also gonna get me more results as long as I don't go too much too soon. Remember, use the pain as a guide, but don't go too much, right? Ease into it. So I can dig in there. This is also great for the bottom of your feet. I made another video on that. So if you have flat feet, you wanna stay on the outside, might not be the best thing for that, but for general area, get in, use that on your foot. Use this on your shoulders and your upper back. You get this, that first rib up in here. You can do the same thing, pike your hips up, reach around, working all the way through. If you want to get lower, put your hand behind your back, get under that scapula. We're just working in and around that border of the scapula in the back of the shoulder. So use these tools, foam rollers, lacrosse ball, tennis ball, use these tools to get into those tissues and relieve some tension. Free up so that they can slide, and so when you do want to move, you can move fluidly and with strength. Try it, let me know how it goes.